This AI Concierge just replaced the entire front desk staff at a hotel. This AI works 24/7. Need a towel? Done. Lunch recommendations? Sorted. Booking a spa treatment? No problem. You don't need to imagine your future anymore, because it's already here. This AI doesn't just assist the staff. So the question I want to ask you today is not if you want to use this, but how long you can afford not to. So to help you prepare, I'm first of all going to show you a live demo, second how it's built, and also how much better the customer experience actually gets through implementing an AI like this. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. My name's Liam. We've worked with small businesses all the way up to 8-figure companies to help them use AI the right way and see crazy results. I'm not saying this to brag, I just want you to know that it comes from a place of experience. So that being said, let's dive into the live demo. So let's say I'm in my hotel room and I want to order some room service. Instead of talking to a human, I can now call a personal AI concierge. And the coolest part is it can actually, just based on my phone number, recognize who's calling, check the reservation, and know my name and which room I'm in. So it doesn't have to ask for my room number or anything else. I'll show you what I mean. All we have to do is actually call a phone number over here.
Hey Liam, this is Kate. How can I help you today?
Cool, you knew my name. Yeah, I'd like to order something to my room if that's possible.
Sure, what would you like?
Maybe some coconut water and a fresh towel would be great.
All right, Liam, I see that you are in room 105, so I will order coconut water and a fresh towel to that room.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, yeah.
All right, let me get that sorted for you. 1 second, please. Is there anything else I can assist you with, Liam?
I'm just going to quickly hang up because I want to show you here. It actually sent an email, and this will be sent internally to your team. For example, hey team, there is a room service request for Liam Titchens in room 105. And you'll notice I didn't have to tell the AI my name or the room number. It knew instantly just by checking my reservation. I'll show you how this works later, but it's also a very secure way to handle this, which is great. He has requested a new towel and some coconut water. Best Anthony AI, right? How cool is that? The AI can also do more than just room service, right? You can build this however you'd like. It's completely custom. In this case, the company also wanted it to arrange some spa treatments, which is pretty cool. So once again, we can just call the AI.
Hey Liam, this is Kate. How can I help you today?
Yeah, could we arrange a spa treatment maybe?
Of course, Liam. What time would you like your spa treatment?
Anything free this evening? Maybe like 6 p.m.?
Perfect. So that's a spa treatment tonight at 6 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Let's see if that's available. 1 moment, please. Great news, Liam. Your 6 p.m. spa treatment for tonight has been successfully booked. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
That's all great. Thank you so much, Kate. Okay, bye-bye. Cool, so how cool was that? I can also actually make spa treatments and bookings. And by the way, this is all booked internally into the system. I can't show you that on the screen because it would leak some data I'm not permitted to show. But I've just wired this up to my email once again. So over here you can see, there we go, room service request. Hey Liam, your spa booking for 6 p.m. today has been confirmed. We're looking forward to seeing you. Best team at, this company. Very, very cool, right? And as you can see, the possibilities for this are quite huge. This can do a lot more than just room service. It can recommend nearby activities. For example, it can help you book shuttle services. The principle of this is that the AI can actually take actions. It can send emails. It can book things into the internal system. It's so powerful, right? And you can have this in many languages. You can have this always available, right? There's no downtime for this. There is a concierge every single second of the day for your guests available. Pretty cool. So now in the next step, I'm going to give you an overview of how this works. This is going to be a little more technical. So for those people who are not really here for the exact technical bits and pieces, it can get quite boring. So feel free to stick around. But otherwise, in case you want to work with me and see what this technology could do for your company, there is a link down below where I'm offering 3 free AI consultation calls. It's first come, first serve. So I hope to see you in there. It's the first link down below. So that being said, let's get into the techie side. For this, we are using 2 softwares. Vappy, which is where the AI agent is built, and then also N8N, which we use to connect it into your existing softwares. So first of all, let me walk you through Vappy. If you've never seen Vappy before, this is one of the biggest providers for AI voice agents. And there are a few templates available, right? You can get stuff out of the box, but the tricky part with AI is always, getting it to a point where it's actually robust and it fits properly into your company's systems. And it's actually like an employee that you've also trained and you've gone through the SOPs and he actually knows exactly how to behave. That takes a lot of time, which is why we custom build everything. And the coolest thing for you to know here in Vappy is that you can choose the model. So for example, 4.0 cluster is good, or 4.1 mini is also great. I can recommend that too for these voice AIs. And next you have a big prompt in here. I'll break that down in a moment. One thing you can also do is choose the voice, right? If you didn't like the voice that I showed in the demo, it's no problem at all. You can change it to a guy, a girl, like specific accents. There's thousands of voices, probably hundreds of thousands actually. And then let me just quickly walk you through the prompt and explain how we actually get the AI to go outside of its prompt and actually use these tools and how can it actually connect to your softwares in a reliable way. So one software that we use for writing our prompt is called Stack Edit. All right. This is what Stack Edit looks like. And basically what this is we write all of our prompts in Markdown. As you can see on the left, you've got this formatting here, which might not look very nice to humans, but this is what it looks like to the AI. So on the right, the AI can actually see headlines, right? Because otherwise, if you just paste text into here, the AI wouldn't really know where the headline is, right? Which is why you have to write it in Markdown. And Stack Edit just helps us see if we've made a mistake, like here. It just helps us see if we've written it correctly. So the first thing that we always write is you don't know anything or can't help with anything except for what is in your prompt and tools. And as I showed you before, the model that we're using, for example, 4.1, is so smart, right? It's been trained on the entire internet. It's bound to try and come up with information that doesn't exist. So this is one of the ways that we actually limit the AI and we tell it, you are really, really stupid, in essence, right? You don't know anything except for what is below here. And this is a great way of actually reducing it down to baseline and then building up on top of that. Then we give it a role. You are the digital concierge at, I've blurred out the company name. Context, this is where you work. This is the time, right? This variable gets replaced at the start of the call. So for every call, this gets replaced to, for example, today is the 21st of the 11th, 2025. The time, as I'm recording this, is 10:45, right? And then the AI actually knows, okay, if the guest says something like, I want spa treatment in 2 hours, it actually knows, great, in 2 hours, that's 12:45, right? So important to make these things context aware. And then we also have some other variables, which as you can see here, we have the guest name, right, which is also in these brackets, and then the room number. Now this is really, really cool. These things get put into the prompt before the call starts. So every call is custom. Every call of this prompt gets rewritten. But how does the AI know which guest is calling? For that, we have a workflow in N8N. And basically what we've got is we have the incoming call. I should probably go a step back. In Vappy, you've got phone numbers. And I can't show you because it leaks some data, but effectively to the phone number, we can tell Vappy, whenever a call comes through, send it over here to this webhook. All right, so all phone calls get received here. And then what we do is we can see which phone number is calling. So you would see my phone number, and then we check that phone number in your system, right? So this is a module which connects into their booking software, and you can then see, has this person actually made a booking? Because what happens when somebody else calls from outside the hotel and orders room service, like it's just, you have to have some security measure. All right, and this is just code, right? This has nothing to do with AI. This is just raw code. Check, has this person made a booking with you, yes or no? Right? If they have, then what you do is you extract the name and the room number of his reservation, and then you send this back. And what this code over here does is it writes the entire code for this assistant new, and the only thing that it changes is it changes this to Liam, for example, and swaps this out for the current room number. And that way, every single call is individual. Every single call is custom, which is great. So now this is the prompt that this specific AI has for this specific call, right? And also security-wise, this is probably the best thing that you can do. Have the security measure in place so not everyone can just call the AI. Great, so some specifics on how it should respond. Always confirm the details before doing anything else. Don't ask repetitive questions and so on. And then we've got the task for the AI. So here we have a few different branches. We have the room service branch and the spa treatment branch. And basically what we've told it is if the guest wants to order room service, ask what they would like. And then after the guest specifies their order, repeat back, all right, guest name, right? So this would once again be set to Liam. I see that you are in room 105. And it's also good, by the way we formatted this wouldn't actually be sent through as 105, but as 105, because it helps the AI speak it more naturally, right? Otherwise it might go 105, right? Or 105, right? Like you have to balance this in a way so that it actually sounds human, if that makes sense. And basically what it does is it confirms what the customer wanted to order. If the customer says, yep, I want to order that, then you're allowed to use the room service tool. Now, what is a tool? In Vappy, what we've got is we have tools attached to this assistant over here. We've got the book spa tool and the room service tool. Now, what these tools are is in the room service tool, we've told it, you are allowed to use this to request room service. So first of all, description of when the AI can use this. And then we've got some parameters. So I'm going to have to blur out this URL down here. Unfortunately, I can't show you that. But in here, what's cool is that you can extract the name of the guest, right? You can extract the room number and also the request. So these are mini AIs, right? These little mini AI models will extract from the conversation the name, the room number, and the request. And they will send them to this URL, which I'm going to have to blur out. But that URL leads here to this webhook. And then basically what happens is we send that information, right? The room number, the request, and the name. We send that. In this case, we have two branches, room service and book spa. We send that up here. Then we check in your system, does this reservation even exist, right? Are they allowed to order room service? Then we verify the room items. So this is the request, right? If the customer says something like, I want an elephant, right? You would have a list probably internally of which things people can request for room service. And if that is not on the list, then we tell them, sorry, we can either transfer you to a human and you can try to convince them, or we just can't send you an elephant, right? And but if it does exist, then what we do is we send an email internally with all the information that the guest has said, and then reply back to the guest saying, everything is set, the room service will arrive shortly. And I think you're starting to see that a lot of this is actually happening in workflows and code. We don't want the AI to have full system access, right? This is dangerous. You don't want the AI to build it in a way that it can order anything for anyone at any time. It's going to make mistakes. But this way we have so many safeguards in place that the worst thing that can happen is that it says, sorry, I can't actually help you right now. Let me transfer you to a human, right? So important. Great. And then the second one for spa treatment, we basically ask them, what time do you want the spa treatment? Then we confirm it back to the caller, and then he uses the tool book spa. And once again, this is very similar for the book spa. We've told it use this to book a spa treatment, and then we extract the name and the requested time, right? And then we send those through here. In this case, it decides that the AI used the book spa treatment. Once again, we confirm the reservation. Then we check in the calendar if 6 p.m. today is available. If it is, then great, we send an email, everything is set. But if it isn't, we loop through here. Basically what this does is this changes the time from 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. and then to 7 p.m., right? And then it checks again if one of those are available. If not, then it checks for 3 p.m. and it checks for 8 p.m., right? And that way, this loops over it as often as it needs to within a few seconds because we don't just want to tell the guest, sorry, 6 p.m. is not available, right? Like we want to offer some alternatives. And that's what this does, right? It loops through until it's found a time that works. And once again, this is all just code. And then the code tells the customer, what about this time, right? Would that work for you? Pretty cool. And that is it. That is in essence how this works. And as you can see, we can add more tools to this, right? We don't just need to add 2, we can add, well, there is a limit, right? Like after a while, the AI will get confused, but I would say you can comfortably add up to 10 different tools to an AI. It can handle quite a lot, but then the prompt has to be extremely solid, right? Of course, there's other things like end call guidelines, notes, how's it supposed to respond, and so on. But generally speaking, this is the structure of how we build the AIs. And I hope that you learned something from this, right? I hope that maybe now AI isn't such a mystery. it's a little more fixed, and also the security aspect is very important to us, that you understand that we have very clear limitations to this. So yeah, I hope you learned something new. If you'd like to work with me, there is a link down below to book a free call. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.